Hi everyone, welcome. Come on in and join me. Join me for this live video, Clear the Air. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to talk all about reducing allergy triggers in your home so you can literally clear the air and breathe a lot easier. So whether you're tuning in live or catching this on replay, I'm so glad you could join me. My name is Erin Bartley. I'm an Norwex consultant and leader, been a consultant and leader for 9 years, living in Clifton Forge, Virginia, in the mountains of Virginia. So come on in and join me. I'm so glad you guys can be here and learn about allergens in our home and some things we can do, really impactful things we can do to reduce dramatically allergens in our home and how it's affecting our quality of life. Not just outside, but inside as well. So this is a topic that is really personal for a lot of us. Over 50 million people in the United States are affected by allergies, have either chronic or seasonal allergies, and that includes things like pet allergies. Everybody say hi to Chester. He's behind the plant. Hi, Chester. Pet allergies, food allergies, maybe you're allergic to bees, whatever you're allergic to. So that includes all types of allergies. So 50 million folks in the United States affected by allergies. That's a lot of people. Over 25 million people in the United States have been diagnosed with asthma. And asthma is a serious chronic medical condition. And allergies are related to asthma in that allergens can trigger an asthma attack, which is a serious medical event. So allergens aren't just an annoyance. They aren't just an inconvenience. They really can impact the quality of your life. And most importantly, a lot of people are concerned about the life and quality of life of their children. So tell me, in the comments below, if you're watching this live or on replay, how are allergies impacting you? Are you just a seasonal allergy person? You have some sniffy nose, the runny eyes, sneezing, that sort of thing? Or are you someone who has eczema, more like a whole body reaction? You suffer from allergies more long term? Let me know, how are allergens impacting you in your home? So let's talk a little bit about what's actually happening in your body with allergens and why you want to take this seriously and really reduce allergens as much as you can within your home. So what's going on during a bad allergy day? So it's not just always sniffles and sneezing. You might have some like brain fog and feel a little foggy and tired. You might experience headaches. Have any of you guys experienced that? Did you know that allergies can cause brain fog? They can really make you feel like you've got a cold, like you've come down with something. It can make you really feel sick and ill. Those feelings, those reactions in your body, that is inflammation in action. So allergies can cause inflammatory triggers. Hold on. Can you turn that light back on for me? Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. So inflammation can show up as swollen sinuses, sneezing, congestion, and then it can be even more serious things like asthmatic symptoms, chest tightness, skin issues, like not just rashes, but also eczema. So all of these reactions are actually inflammation in your body. Your immune system is overreacting to something harmless like pollen or pet dander, dust mites. So your body has ingested or taken in some sort of particle. It is interpreting that particle as highly dangerous, and now it's causing an inflammatory response. It's releasing chemicals in your body like histamine that's now causing an inflammatory response. So allergens lead to inflammation, okay? Allergens cause inflammation, these inflammatory reactions in your body. Reducing allergens reduces inflammation. It's a simple cause and effect. Now, the real problem comes when you're chronically exposed to these allergens and then your body chronically feels under attack, and this becomes chronic inflammation. So a single inflammatory episode might be sneezing or coughing or like runny nose or something. But when you are then chronically exposed to allergens and it causes a chronic inflammatory response, the inflammation can become chronic and lead to disease. In the end, the real big picture here is that inflammation does cause disease, period. So what does chronic allergy inflammation look like? So it can seriously damage tissue over time. It can damage lung tissue. It can damage sinus tissue. It can make your body more reactive to other triggers like infection and stress. So your body is less able to deal with infection, less able to deal with stress because it's chronically inflamed. Chronic inflammation will weaken your immune system over time, make you less able to fight off even simple diseases, bacteria, virus, those sorts of things. And chronic inflammation will lead to chronic disease or worsen conditions that you already have. It can cause digestive issues, obviously chronic skin issues like rashes or eczema or dermatitis. It can cause poor sleep, chronic fatigue, brain fog, and most recently we were linking some major neurodegenerative diseases like ALS and Alzheimer's to chronic inflammation. So the key idea here is that reducing exposure to allergens helps calm your immune system, and that means less inflammation, better energy, clearer skin, and better breathing. Reducing allergen exposure will improve your quality of life. So those are all the reasons that you want to take reducing allergens in your home quite seriously, okay? So let me know, were any of those pieces of information or bits of information new to you? I knew a lot about how allergies impact quality of life because of my son's own allergy and breathing journey, but I didn't know all of that until I started really taking a deeper dive to be able to provide this presentation to everybody. So let me know in the comments, was any of that new to you? Sorry, you can hear Chester eating and drinking in the background. Okay, so let's talk about reducing allergens in the home environment. So we spend 90% of our time inside. Our indoor air quality is usually 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outside. And that's thanks to our really tight, energy efficient homes, the off-gassing of our furniture, cleaning products, pets. You can look at Chester. Do you see this happening? He's wiping his face. This is a great example of how allergens get transferred. We're going to talk about this later, but dog saliva is a huge allergen, and he wipes his face all over the furniture. And I'm sure that many of you have some large animal or small animal wiping their face all over your furniture, and pet saliva is a huge allergen. We're going to talk about that. Okay, totally got off topic there. All right. So all air in your home, 2 to 5 times dirtier than the air outside. That's because our homes are very energy efficient, and it's keeping everything inside. Like all of our furniture off gases, your carpet off gases, all of those things create volatile organic chemicals. If you are someone who uses candles, dusting sprays, Febreze, Lysol, if you're using any of those products, your laundry products that are spreading fragrance throughout your home, all of those things remain in your home and are contributing to the high allergen factor in your home. So I first want to talk about the biggest contributor to the spread of allergens throughout your home, and that is dust. And people usually consider dust as just a nuisance. It's just a common nuisance. Everyone has to deal with it, and that's all they think of it. But dust is actually a lot more than that. Dust is made of dead skin cells. It's made of broken down bug parts. It's made of dust mites. It's made of candle soot, pesticides, all of your household chemicals, all of your household laundry products. It's made of pet dander, and it's also made of did I say chemicals? I think I said chemicals. So chemicals are attracted to dust like a magnet. So dust is made of all these different things. It's not just one thing. So dust is like a supercharged allergy particle because it contains lots of different allergens in one little particle. So it can contain a lot of different things that are going to aggravate your immune system in just one concentrated little punch. So dust is a double whammy on the body because since it binds with chemicals in your home, so it causes aggravation and inflammation just because it's an allergen, and then chemical compounds from cleaning products, scented candles, fragrance discs, wax melts, all of those things also interfere with your body's natural process to defend against the invaders. So it's an allergen, but it also contains chemicals that interfere with your own body's chemical system, your body's natural chemical system, right? Our own hormones and endocrine system that allow us to fight off allergens and invaders. We're impacting our body in a way that it cannot fight back. We're inhibiting our body's ability to fight back against dust and allergens. So how can we address the issue of dust? How can you reduce the amount of dust in your home? Everybody wants to know that. Everybody wants to have a dust-free home. So here are the ways to most dramatically reduce dust in your home and to reduce your exposure to what dust will bring into your home. So first of all, dust smart. So focus on, if you only have a limited amount of time for cleaning, don't focus on like every shelf and knickknack and lampshade and whatever else. Really focus on high traffic areas like your entryway. Focus on the areas that you spend the most time in, like your bedroom or your home office. And then don't use dusting sprays. Please, if you're watching this, give up your dusting sprays. You don't need them. You don't need them to polish or shine or maintain your furniture. In fact, most of those dusting sprays will break down your furniture over time, actually cause furniture damage, make your furniture not last as long. Just use a damp microfiber cloth to wipe down your furniture and wipe down those high traffic areas, including like wiping off the walls right next to your door, wiping off your entry door, like really wiping down and keeping the entryways where most of the stuff is coming into your home and then making its way into the air circulation of your home. Get that stuff first and use a microfiber cloth. And of course, I'm going to recommend a Norwex microfiber cloth to wipe everything up because then it's holding onto it and trapping it and keeping it from spreading around. So if you stop dust and particles at the door, then you're going to prevent it from coming in and spreading all over your home. Dry mop regularly. So Norwex has a dry mop system. I think it's the best system on the market. Use your dry pad to pick up all of the dust, pollen, debris that makes it into your entryways. Again, focus on high. If you can't do everything, don't have like a everything or nothing attitude. Like really, just capture the worst areas first. And a Norwex dry pad, whether you use this dusting pad, the one that comes with the regular mop system, this is going to pick up all of those particles, hold on to it. You're going to be able to toss it into the wash or brush it into the trash and really dispose of those allergens before they can make it into the air and then into your bodies. Upgrade your air filter. So this is interesting, and I would love to know who already knew this. All right. So these are the air filters that came with our house when we moved in last year. And then we actually didn't have a whole home air conditioning and heating system. We lived in a really old house before this one. This is a much newer home, like a lot newer than what we had previously lived in. So when we moved in, there are filters throughout the house for our home heating and air conditioning system. It was time to change them, actually way past the time. You should change these every 3 months. If you have a lot of pets, a lot of activity in your home. I had most recently a lady that was in one of my parties who let her goats in her house. So if you have goat activity or other high allergen activity in your home, you might want to change it more frequently. You can really pop off the cover really easily and see what's going on in there. And if it looks like it's coated with a bunch of dust and hair, you probably should go ahead and change it. So this is the filter that came with our house. I would love for you guys to tell me if you knew that there are like different stages of filters. So my husband told me, like, for example, this level of filter, it's called the clean living filter. It filters lint, dust, and dust mite debris. So those three things. And then the next level of filter does all of these things plus mold, pollen, pet dander, smoke, smog, and coughs and sneezes. Like, I thought this was crazy. This next one does all of that, plus it filters odors. And then the last one, which is called the healthy living filter, filters everything down to bacteria, viruses, up to parts per million, 2.5 parts per million. So it's showing a smog factory, exhaust particles, and ultra fine particles. So this is like crazy level filtering. I told my husband, I was like, this is the filter we need to buy. And then he said, well, this is something you need to consider. It's supposed to be changed every 3 months, maybe more frequently, depending on if there's goats in your home. But he said it was something like $15 for this filter. And you know, our house has multiple of these. It's not just one. So maybe your house only has one, but for us, it's multiple filters. So $15, $30, $45, $50 plus or something for a filter, maybe even $60 for this high level filter. And you're doing that 3 or more times a year on several filters. It's actually quite an investment. But so what we said when he went, this filter that came with the house is this like clean living filter. So we're going to pop that in during low allergy times, low sickness times. We'll just go ahead and use this one up. That's the last one of these we will use. We're always going to use this kind right here, the allergen filter. And then we're thinking during cold and flu season, we'll buy the big mama, like the heavy hitter right here. So I'm interested to know, did you guys realize that there were like all these different filtration levels for a whole, your HVAC, your home filter? I had no idea. So I hope that tip is helpful for you. Use air purifiers. So air purifiers, you know, they're usually small little systems that you can have in your bedroom, your office. You can purchase bigger ones for large living areas. An air purifier is going to make a huge difference in trapping fine particles throughout your home. I highly recommend an air purifier. Just make sure it has a HEPA filter. If you guys, maybe let me know in the comments below, do you have an air purifier that you love that you would recommend to others? So let me know if you have one that you would specifically recommend. I have some like just general generic HEPA ones that I got from Amazon or Walmart. I don't really know. I have a variety of them in our bedrooms and in my office. I can't say that I specifically recommend a specific one, but you know what? The Norwex community tends to be a very knowledgeable community about these types of things. So I would love to know, do you guys have an air purifier recommendation? I will say, when you buy an air purifier, go ahead and buy a year's supply worth of replacement filters so you have them, and then store them somewhere near the air filter. And that way you're really like reducing the friction of being able to change the filter and use, you know, if it has a dirty filter, it's just not working effectively. So go ahead and make the investment of the filtration system and the filters that you need for at least a year so that you make it easy for you. Okay, sorry, I have a call coming in. Let me turn that off. All right, opening windows. So a lot of people want to open windows and let fresh air in, and that's a great idea, but you could also be letting all of the allergens in as well. So you want to be sure to open your windows early morning or after a rain during low pollen times, and then close them again. I do think getting fresh air through your home is a great idea, and especially if you're using an air purifier, it can pick up those particles for you. So if you do those things in conjunction with one another, you could be good to go. But definitely on dry, windy days, don't be opening your windows. Keep everything closed up. And then once you do open your windows and you let things flow through, I highly recommend grabbing your dust mitt, and you want to use this damp to clean off your screens and clean around your windowsill. You could use your EnviroCloth too, but this is really good at the screens. You're going to be amazed at what happens when you use a dust mitt on your screens. Oh, and when I was talking about household dust, I talked about dusting and using the dry mop, but Norwex has a variety of dusting products. You can reach out to your Norwex consultant. They can help you select dusting products or share the different products that are available to you. But the number one dusting product, or where you want to start, is, an EnviroCloth and a dusting mitt. And of course we have wands, we have all kinds of gadgets to make things dusting a lot easier, faster, quicker. And they're all washable and reusable, but your Norwex consultant can help you pick out what might be most helpful for finishes in your home, whether you have blinds, screens, what you have that's lots of small knickknacks, what's gonna be most helpful for you. Okay, so indoor air, definitely you do wanna let indoor air in, open windows, but then be prepared to close them quickly. And also wipe down windowsills and screens to prevent now what's blown in from blowing all over your house. Do not use candles, okay? Do not use candles to freshen the indoor air. Do not use candles, melts, Febreze, or other artificial fragrance sprays. This is kind of harsh, but this is very true. Whatever you put into the air of your home coats everything, including the inside of your lungs, okay? Whatever is in your home air is in your lungs. It coats your lungs. It's in your bloodstream. It's now affecting your organs. So it's affecting you systemically, 100%. So when you burn candles, you use air freshener sprays. When I moved into my house, these were in all the bathrooms. And so I just kept these to use these as an example for demos. Do not use these. This is just spraying poison into your air for you to then, it only masks odors. It doesn't actually really do anything to remove odors. These are dangerous. This is a dangerous product that is causing harm to your health. This is an old Febreze bottle. When I joined Norwex, I used Febreze. I didn't know any better. So I dumped the Febreze out and put Norwex Odor Eliminator in, which is an enzyme spray. And I use this just like Febreze throughout my home, except this is actually using enzymes to eat up particles that cause odor instead of coating things with a chemical slurry. This is a candle someone gave me. This is also just poison in your home. When you burn a paraffin candle, it is just like starting your car in your living room. You're coating everything with petroleum. Don't do it. Volatile organic compounds are in all of these things, all right? You don't want volatile organic. They cause damage. They're causing damage on a cellular level to your lungs, to your skin, cells inside your organs and your bloodstream. So they settle on surfaces. All of these chemicals settle on candles when you burn them, those wax melts, all of that stuff is floating through your air. It settles on surfaces. It settles on your furniture, your walls, your bedding, your curtains, your carpets, kids' toys. They build up and cause chemical dust. You breathe them in and the compounds enter your lungs and your bloodstream. Fragrance molecules bind to dust. They attract to dust like a magnet, and they just hold on to them. So long after a candle is burnt or a spray is sprayed, those compounds remain in your home on surfaces and floating through the air. Now, a great alternative to a paraffin candle is a beeswax candle. So beeswax candles have all, of course, beeswax, a completely natural substance. And when beeswax candles are burned, I meant to bring one of mine in here, they actually emit negative ions. Those negative ions bond with dust particles, volatile organic chemicals, and then create a very heavy particle that drops to the floor and is easy to vacuum or sweep up. So beeswax candles can actually clear the air. They bind with dust, they bind with pollen, pet dander, mold, and other toxins. They become heavy. Those airborne particles become heavy and they fall to the ground so that you're less likely to breathe them in. And then a kind of a final recommendation about indoor air quality or improving it is plants. So plants are an easy way, especially these types of plants that are easy to maintain. This is a spider plant. It's one of the best plants for indoor air quality. So how does it work? Again, actually, plants absorb those volatile organic chemicals. And isn't that awesome? So plants absorb those volatile VOCs, that's what they're called, volatile organic compounds. So plants absorb those VOCs through their leaves and through their roots. Things like formaldehyde, benzene, xylene, these plants absorb all of that. And reduce the overall chemical load in your home. And NASA actually did a study about this and found that these plants like the spider plant, snake plant, peace lilies were particularly effective. And those are some of the easiest indoor house plants to maintain. So let me know, do you have some of these in your home? What are the house plants you like for maintaining indoor air quality? Our spider plant loves it here because there's lots of full sun with the doors. So it's here working to clear our air all the time because we obviously have, where'd he go? A large pet in our house contributing to a lot of dust and pet dander. All right, so let's move on to our skin, which is our largest organ and a major gateway for allergens. So many allergy issues start with what we put on our skin. Fragrance, dyes, preservatives, they're all potential irritants. So easy swap, and I did not bring it down here with me, is a Norwex body cloth. And this is a great hack, is to make sure that you're wiping your face and especially your eyelashes with a Norwex body cloth to remove all of those allergens and irritants from your face and especially your eyes. You just have to use the cloth and water and it is going to whisk away all of that stuff from the day from your face and especially your eyes. You want to choose skincare that protects your skins and strengthens your skin's hydration barrier, creating a protective barrier. Hydration barrier is a protective barrier on your skin that's going to help your skin be resilient to allergies, pollution, and irritants. So you want to choose skincare that's going to protect your hydration barrier and supports your skin's microbiome. And I'm absolutely proud to say that Norwex's skincare is EWG verified and it has ingredients that strengthen that hydration barrier and also works with your skin specific microbiome using probiotics, those sorts of things to help your skin. Oh, thank you. My husband brought me some body cloths. Here's some examples of body cloths. Oh, and the new makeup, this is a good one I love, the new large makeup remover. So all of these, great at removing allergens from your skin. If you don't already use a Norwex body cloth, you definitely want to use one. Also, really important, if you're a morning showerer, if you're a person who likes to take your shower in the morning and wake up, hey, I get it. But you really, especially during this high allergy and pollen season, you really want to be, at least you could wipe off with a body cloth, but you want to be wiping all of the allergens off of you. You want to be getting in the shower and getting all that stuff off your body before you hop in your bed. And then you've got all those allergens just hanging out in your bed. Okay, laundry. So what you wash your clothes in stays in your clothes and then is absorbed, is on your skin, absorbed through your skin into your body, and again, into your body's bloodstream and organs. If you're using heavily scented detergent, fabric softeners, dryer sheets, those ingredients are triggering an allergy response. I don't know anybody who can use those heavily fragranced items and they're not, you're experiencing, you might not know it, but your itchy eyes, your irritated skin, your runny nose, your laundry detergent is 100% contributing to your symptoms. And then if you have small children and you have them using these heavily scented products, you're really creating a lot of inflammation within their body that's going to create more allergy triggers as they get older. So what happens is we use all these heavily scented products throughout our life, and then our body says, and we're done. We're not going to tolerate anything. And then you become allergic to everything because you've overwhelmed your body over such a long period of time. So go fragrance free. Choose a truly free and clear detergent. I would encourage you to get on EWG and look, EWG.org, and look up your detergent. Tide Free and Clear has a D rating. So I would look at your detergent. Things that are even say that they're free and clear aren't as good for you as you would think. So Norwex has awesome detergent solutions. You can talk to your consultant about that. They're fragrance-free, filler-free. They don't contain the harmful toxins or chemicals that traditional detergents contain. Okay, as we wrap up, the number one place that allergens love to hide is on all soft surfaces, couches, rugs, curtains, bedding. Those areas trap dust mites, pet dander, pollen like a magnet. All soft surfaces are like a magnet to all of those things you don't want floating around your home. Regular like vacuuming and regular sprays, that usually just tosses that stuff up into the air. So a couple products to help you with soft surfaces, I forgot to bring it down here, daggone it, is mattress spray. So our mattress cleaner, not just for mattresses, can be used on all soft surfaces, and it uses enzymes. It's really going to break down all of that organic material like pet dander, dust mites, all of those sorts of things are going to be broken down by a mattress cleaner. Our odor eliminator, like I said, it dilutes to make 6 bottles. So you can basically a year's supply or more of odor eliminator in our concentrate, dilute it. It uses enzymes to break down stinky areas. So use those enzyme products on stinky surfaces, not just the vacuum, not dusting sprays. If you use an enzyme product, spray it on the surface and let the enzyme break those things down, you're going to have a lot better result because it's not shot back into the air. Let's talk about small areas like bathrooms. A lot of people like their guest bathroom or like a smaller bathroom area. They really want to spray a lot of chemicals in there. There's lingering odors you can't get rid of. I'm just going to tell you right now that lingering odors are caused by something that's still there on the surface. And so you really want to attack that area with your microfiber. Wipe the area down really well. And if you still have lingering odors, you want to use an enzymatic cleaner like probiotic hard surface cleaner, or again, use the odor eliminator to spray around bathrooms, garbage cans, those small areas. Instead of using these heavily fragrance things in small bathrooms, you're just making like a toxic box. Like when you use lots of harsh cleaners and sprays and fragrances in your bathroom and then people are using that bathroom, you're just making like an intense chemical box for people to sit in and breathe, which you don't want. You actually want to get to the root of the problem. So eliminate what's causing the odors by using, again, damp microfiber to clean everything up, using an enzyme-based product like probiotic hard surface cleaner or odor eliminator, spray it around the surface, and it's actually going to eat up the particles causing odor. All right, because Chester is here, I do want to talk about pets. I'm a little bit over my time, but I do want to talk about pets and how pets can contribute to allergies, not just because of their pet dander and people just being allergic. People say they're allergic to cats or allergic to dogs, but pets bring in a lot of allergens because when Chester goes outside, he rolls around in the grass and then brings all of that pet dander or all that pollen into the home from rolling, all that grass pollen from rolling around outside into the home. So my number one tip is to use a pet mitt, damp or dry, really even, to wipe off your pet all over his body before he comes back into the house. This is going to remove the vast majority of allergens, pollens from your pet before, even your cat. Before when I had a cat, I used the pet mitt on my cat. So this is amazing for removing allergens. And these products all contain Backlock, Norwex Silver, so I can use them many times over and over again without them stinking. So they don't stink as they dry out, and I can use them again and again throughout the week. And the pet towel, a larger option for getting all of the dander, all of the loose pollen off of your dog. So I like this because it has the little sleeves you can put your hands into, really grab around your pet and get them clean. Wipe off their paws, and like I said, wipe off their mouths and faces because pet saliva is a huge allergy trigger for humans. And then if you're like me, and if you were here earlier, saw Chester wipe his face all over the couch, use your microfiber to just wipe off those areas that your pet likes to rub on the most, okay? All right, let me look and see, make sure I didn't miss anything I really want. Oh, This is an obvious one, to make sure you're laundering pet areas like their pet bedding regularly. And during high pollen season, you definitely want to be laundering your own linens more regularly. Definitely washing pillowcases more regularly. So that's a lot. 30 minutes of non-stop talking about how to reduce allergens in your home. And there's actually a lot more. There actually are several more tips I could cover, but I'm going to wrap up with that. So as a recap, you don't have to accept allergy symptoms as part of your everyday life. There's actually a lot you can do to control it yourself. So if you made it all the way to the end of this, will you please tell me in the comments below what tip stood out to you? What allergy hack do you plan to incorporate in your own home? And I want to encourage you guys to mark your calendars for the second Monday of every month at 8 p.m. There's a different hacks class. So I just did the hacks class. This tips about allergies this month in May, but there'll be a new one next month in June, and then in July. There's always somebody giving a great presentation about tips and time-saving hacks that are going to help you in your everyday life. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you learned something new and that I shared some tips that might make your allergy season a little less intense. So again, please share, what tip did you enjoy the most? And then we have a tip sheet that you can get from your consultant that reviews a lot of this and some other great tips and hacks. So please ask your consultant for that tip sheet. Thank you guys again so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.